It's Michael Weiss, and welcome to Weiss's Wednesday. Now, today we're going to cover how bad video kills your course and the student's outcome and your bottom line. So what are the facets that we need to cover when it comes to videoing a course? So 1 is the video camera. 2 is the lighting. 3 is sound. 4 is backdrop. We can cover a little bit about a teleprompter, and then pulling it all together. I guess the final is really the editing. So let's cover them quickly, and we're going to go through a inexpensive solution and an expensive solution. So number 1, the camera. Logitech is making some great cameras now, and the Logitech 920 actually is HD. They have a new one called the Logitech Brio, which is 4K, which I have both of them. The 4K one is awesome, and it's probably in the mid 100s in terms of investments. That camera you can use to do your video conferencing on your laptop. The advantage is it plugs right into the computer. It's got a long enough cord where it can go on a tripod, and you can film just like this. The gem solution is the GH5, the Lumix GH5, which we're shooting on now, 4K. And I actually researched this for a number of months before I made this decision. And the decision was made on the fact that it really is designed for video. It's probably a couple $1,000 investment, and it allows you to work with a legitimate camera, and then you can actually do live stream with this. A little more complicated to get it into your computer, but it takes great video for training and learning. In addition to that, it's got a beautiful adapter for microphones, which is now, let's segue into the next topic. Otherwise, let me back up a second, because you can also shoot on your mobile device as well. You can get a stand. They actually are really shooting very high quality now, but the key is the next part of the formula, which is the microphone. You must use a microphone in every case. Now, you can get away in the Logitech of not using a microphone if you're doing sort of more off-the-cuff training, but in every case where you're creating lessons or something that's going to be used continually throughout a course, got to have a microphone. Now, microphones come in all different walks and shapes. We're using a shotgun mic. That's a Rode shotgun mic, long one that's sort of pointed, and it's pointed at me right now. That's here. We can also use a lapel mic, which buckles up right here, and that also is fairly simple. And I would, to keep things super simple, use the ones that just plug into the camera. It plugs into the iPhone. And it will be a little more complicated with the Logitech because you'll have to get a microphone that plugs into the USB of your computer. You can still do it. The Lumix GH5 has basically a port on the side, and they have a $400 adapter that goes up top, which is a hub that can actually directly take the microphone wire in and allows you to use 2 mics going in. So I think that's about as complicated as we need to get with the microphone. Now, backdrop. Everyone goes crazy about backdrops. Backdrop's super simple. You can get a seamless paper backdrop, which is what we have behind us here. We have purple, red, white, gray, blue. And if you look at Wistia.com, they have amazing training on how to set up the backdrop just like this. Now, a seamless roll that's like this wide, maybe like 4 feet or 6 feet, is like $30, and about 8 feet runs you about $50. Super inexpensive. You can actually get inexpensive holders to hold it up as well. It rolls up and it rolls down, so it's very convenient to put away as well. You can also shoot if you've got like a nice brick wall, or if you get a little more sophisticated, then you can shoot where you are the subject, and then you can make things slightly blurry behind you for a good effect as well. Additionally, if you're going to be shooting content and more training, then of course you can shoot with a TV right here that's hooked up to your PowerPoint, and as you're talking, you can just hit the clicker and run that as well. Lastly, one of the things I do like to do when I teach, and that is use a computer screen and me at the same time. And what you do is you are actually filming you, the computer screen is getting filmed, and after it's all done, you can actually decide what do you want to show in the editing. Full screen on the computer, full screen you, or you want to move them back and forth. That's in post-production. So there's a couple of them that are Camtasia is one. I think that's good for IBM, and then we use ScreenFlow for the Mac, which is beautiful, and I do a lot of editing on that as well. So here we go. Let's wrap it up. Camera, we covered. Microphone, we covered. Backdrop, we covered. Now, lighting. So lighting is crucial as well. And it's not very hard to get the lighting right. You just got to make sure you have a lot of light. And that's the key. So you can get inexpensive lights online, and for probably about 100, 150 bucks, you can get the little halogen lights that are, made for shooting. They come with stands. They come in little kits. That's the way I would go. I roughed it a while back when I used to shoot videos on Wall Street back in the day, and we went for the Home Depot halogen lights. Don't do that. I can tell you, when I was back on Wall Street in the conference room after they turned off the air conditioning, and I was in a suit and a tie with 4 lights from Home Depot that were halogen, literally the room got to like 100 degrees and I was dripping in sweat. That's the disadvantage of using those. So for a little investment, it can go a long way. They're super light, they're portable, and so that would be my suggestion. Now, we covered camera, microphone, backdrop, lighting, and the editing is probably the last part and maybe the most complicated. I suck at editing. I do some of my own editing. And ScreenFlow I found to be fairly easy because I do a lot of video training with, using the screen and me. So it just became easy to do that myself and then cut it and mix it. And so now, like in this video, I'll just take it and put it to ScreenFlow. Normally, I'm just chopping the beginning, chopping the end, put a little transition in and out. That's about it. The last thing I want to cover is scripting and how many takes you should take. Like, the clipboard in the movies, take 1, take 2, take 3. Don't take any takes. So that's the key. The more takes you take, the bigger pain in the ass it is, and the more expensive and time consuming it is. So try to learn how to do 1 take. It takes practice. Do it. If it's a short video like this one and you flub up 3/4 of the way through and it's kind of a hassle to go back, don't worry about it. We all flub up in normal conversation. So to the extent that you're transparent and you can just roll right through it, it can be done in 1 take. If you stop yourself because you get little thoughts in your head like, oh, I just screwed that up and da-da-da-da, then of course it won't look natural and you will have to take. When you have to take a take and then a take, then in editing, you have to cut one part, the next, it never looks the same. And so in short videos, try to go for 1 take. And I think that covers it. The importance in factor of what you should focus on is number 1 is definitely sound, because bad sound, you're out of the game. You will not have anybody with you. There's no excuse for bad sound, and you will repel students and you will get really dismal completion rates. So 1 is importance in sound. 2 is camera. 3, lighting. 4, backdrop. And of course, editing, you got to finish the product. So I don't know where that falls in, but that's the order to focus on. So I hope this helps. We want to focus on increasing engagement outcomes so that your business and you become a leader globally, making a bigger impact and making more money.